Hello and welcome back to the Smash Archive, the series where we look at every game franchise represented in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. For our next stop with Smash's third-party series, why don't we take a look at one of the companies who is arguably the most synonymous with one of the most represented genres in Smash, RPGs, with Square Enix. Now, normally for the third-party videos, we usually look at the main series by going entry by entry, and then do general overviews of the minor series. However, due to the main series in question either not having enough content to warrant that approach, or pulling their content almost exclusively from just one specific entry, we'll just do general series overviews for all the franchises we'll be talking about today, with a preemptive spoiler warning going up for all the games I'll be talking about. Also, because I feel someone will point it out, I am aware that Square Enix doesn't actually own Kingdom Hearts, instead just being the series developer, but it felt wrong not including it here, so I figured I could stretch the rules a bit at least once. With that out of the way, let's get started. Created in 1987, Final Fantasy is an RPG for the NES made by Square, which was inspired by games like Ultima and Wizardry, as well as the tabletop game Dungeons & Dragons, with only getting approved for release after Enix's Dragon Quest proved that RPGs could be successful in Japan. Originally, the game was going to be called Fighting Fantasy, but due to a mix of trademark issues, as well as the game later being viewed as Square's last chance to save themselves from going under, it was renamed to Final Fantasy. Despite the circumstances, Final Fantasy proved to be a massive success, with it often being viewed as one of the most influential games of its genre, the first game alone having sold over 2 million copies. The series has since had 16 mainline numbered entries, with some having also gotten sequels themselves. Though for our purposes, we're mainly just interested in what is easily the most popular game in the series, Final Fantasy VII, which doubled as being the series' debut on the, at the time, brand new Sony PlayStation, as well as being the first mainline entry to release in Europe, with the game's groundbreaking presentation, along with the international release being published by Sony themselves, leading to the game becoming one of the most iconic RPGs of all time, FF7 having sold over 10 million copies from its original PlayStation release alone, not only making it the best-selling Final Fantasy, but the second best-selling PlayStation game of all time, the only game beating it being the original Gran Turismo, with it often being credited as the game to popularize RPGs outside Japan. Because of Final Fantasy easily being Square's most popular franchise, there's a good amount of content from the series, even if it's mostly pulled from just one entry. To start, we have two fighters. Number 61, Cloud. The main protagonist of Final Fantasy VII, Cloud being an ex-member of the Shinra Corporation's paramilitary group, Soldier, having since left to become a mercenary for hire, currently working for the anti-Shinra group, Avalanche. In addition to his default outfit, which is based on his appearance in the original game, Cloud also has an alternate costume based on the outfit he wears in Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, an animated movie which acted as a continuation for the original game's story. And number 78, Sephiroth. The main antagonist of Final Fantasy VII, Sephiroth being one of the strongest members of Soldier, who was believed to have been killed 5 years prior to the game's events by Cloud, after going insane from learning his origin, with him suddenly returning with a mysterious ambition. While Sephiroth's design has been almost the same in every appearance he's had, his one-winged angel form is based on his appearance in Advent Children, with him also having an alternate costume based on his shirtless look during the game's final boss fight. Next is two stages. The first being Midgar, the opening area of Final Fantasy VII, which is a capital city that houses the Shinra Electric Power Company, with most of the early game being spent in this area. The stage itself is pretty much just battlefield, with the main gimmick being that during the fight, summon materia can appear, with the first player who touches it causing one of the series' summons to appear and affect the stage. The ones which can appear here being Ifrit, who uses Hellfire to create a large pillar of fire that deals contact damage and pushes the stage, Ramuh, who uses Judgment Bolt to electrify and move around the 3 floating platforms, Odin, who uses Xantasuken to cut the stage in half, dealing damage with the slash, with any fighters who get caught in the stage when it sticks back together being instantly KO'd, Leviathan, who uses Tidal Wave to flood the stage, with fighters being able to take damage and be KO'd from being slammed against the stage by the water's current, and Bahamut Zero, who uses Terra Flare to create a giant laser which travels from the background to the main stage, dealing continuous damage to fighters who get hit. The other stage is Northern Cave, one of the final areas in the game being the impact site from an alien lifeform called Genova crashing into the planet 2,000 years ago, with it acting as the place the party have their final confrontation with Sephiroth. The stage itself is another fairly basic one, being one large flat platform with 2 smaller floating platforms, with the background effectively being a loose retelling of the events that happen at the location, namely the party entering the cave, Sephiroth within a Mako cocoon summoning a meteor, and then both a magic spell called Holy and the planet's lifestream working together to stop the meteor, albeit Smash has the meteor crashing near the cave, when in the original game it was going to crash into Midgar. Then we have 11 music tracks, and to avoid repetition, every song originates from Final Fantasy VII, with a new remix of the music that plays during the opening, as well as Clown and Barrett's bombing mission at the start of the game. Two versions of Let the Battles Begin, the regular battle theme, with both the original song and a remix from Advent Children. Two versions of Fight On, the regular boss theme, with the original song, and the Advent Children remix. A new remix of Aerith's theme, a new remix of Final Fantasy VII's main theme, which plays on the overworld during Disc 1 and is unofficially considered to be Cloud's theme. Jenova, the song used for the first and third battles against Jenova, the fight against Helitic Hojo, and when the party descends into Jenova synthesis. A new remix of the theme for Cosmo Canyon, and two versions of One Winged Angel, the theme for the final boss fight against Safer Sephiroth, with the original song and the Advent Children remix. Following that is 4 Mii costume pieces, with a hat based on Chocobos, a race of birds which have appeared in almost every entry since Final Fantasy II, with the hat being based on a more cartoon-like design from the various Chocobo spin-off games. A brawler outfit based on Tifa, Cloud's childhood friend who, after reuniting with him years later, was the one who convinced him to join Avalanche. A sword fighter outfit based on Aerith, a girl from Midgar who was being hunted down by the Shinra Corporation, leading her to join Cloud's party, and a gunner outfit based on Barret, the leader of Avalanche, an eco-terrorist group fighting against the Shinra Corporation, with him leading the bombing run during the game's opening mission. Finally, there's 16 spirits. Number 1004, Cloud, a fighter spirit. Over the course of the game, Cloud ends up learning the truth of his history with the Shinra Corporation, along with a forgotten friendship with another soldier named Zack, going from his initial goal of power and fame to instead fight with his friends to protect their home planet of Gaia. Number 1005, Cloud Advent Children, a fighter spirit. Set 2 years after the events of the original game, Advent Children follows Cloud setting out to find a cure to Geostigma, a disease that started appearing after the defeat of Sephiroth, with it being revealed that the disease was created by 3 remnants of Sephiroth's conscious in order to revive Jenova. The artwork is original to Smash Ultimate. Number 1439, Sephiroth, a fighter spirit. As mentioned before, Sephiroth used to be an elite member of Soldier, before going insane upon discovering the truth of his origin, that being he was the result of a lab experiment done by Shinra on an alien life form called Jenova, the end result being Cloud causing him to fall into a pool of Mako in one of Shinra's Mako reactors, with Sephiroth eventually returning 5 years later after merging his consciousness with the planet's life stream, allowing him to control all beings with Jenova cells. Number 1440, Tifa, a 2-slot Ace primary attack spirit with the effect Fist Attack Up. After Sephiroth destroyed her in Cloud's hometown of Nibelheim when he went insane, Tifa ended up being taken to Midgard to cure her injuries, eventually finding herself running a bar called 7th Heaven, which acts as Avalanche's base of operations. Number 1441, Barret, a 1-slot advanced primary shield spirit with the effect Wait Up. Barret leads Avalanche in various attacks against the Shinra Corporation, due to the energy they harvest, Mako being the life source of the planet, with him struggling to continue his fight against Shinra whilst looking after his daughter, Marlene. Number 1442, Aerith, a 2-slot ace support spirit with the effect Auto Heal. Later in the game, it's revealed that the reason Shinra were hunting down Aerith is because she's the last of the Cetras, an ancient race known for their powerful magic abilities, with her asking Cloud to be her bodyguard when one of the Turks shows up to capture her after Cloud falls on the church's flower bed. Number 1443, Red 13, a 2-slot advanced primary attack spirit with the effect Speed Up. Originally named Nanaki, he's one of the last remnants of an unnamed species of feline which was captured and experimented on by the Shinra scientist Professor Hojo, with him being the one who renamed him to Red 13, with Red deciding to join Cloud's group when they save him from Hojo's laboratory. Number 1444, Sid, a 2-slot novice primary grab spirit with the effect Jump Up. An ex-Shinra engineer and rocket scientist whose only dream of going to space was taken away when the company cut funding and eventually scrapped a space shuttle project, with him joining the party after Shinra tried to steal one of his planes called the Tiny Bronco. On top of that, Sid is also part of a long-running gag where, starting with Final Fantasy II, every game in the series features a character named Sid, with them often being either an inventor or an engineer. Number 1445, Kate Sith, a 1-slot novice support spirit with the effect Transformation Duration Up. A cat riding a giant toy Moogle who works at the amusement park Gold Saucer as a fortune teller, who after reading Cloud's fortune decides to stick with him to find out what it means, though later on it's revealed the actual reason he tagged along was because he's a robot being controlled by a member of Shinra to spy on and keep track of Cloud's group. Number 1446, Yuffie, a 1-slot advanced support spirit with the effect Item Gravitation, an optional party member who's a ninja thief that tries to steal materia in the hope she can use it to restore her homeland to its former glory after they lost a war to Shinra, with Cloud's group getting ambushed by her in the woods near Junon. Number 1447, Vincent, a 3-slot advanced primary neutral spirit with the effect Shooting Items Power Up. Another optional party member Cloud can find in a locked room within the Shinra Manor basement. Vincent having locked himself away due to his past as a Turk and experiments done on him by Hojo turning him into a monster, with him agreeing to join the group so he can get revenge on Hojo. Number 1448, the Turks and Rufus Shinra, a 1-slot ace support spirit with the effect Trade-Off Ability Up. Rufus Shinra is the vice president of the Shinra Corporation, with him then taking the role of president after the original one was murdered by Sephiroth. Rufus intends to rule the planet through fear, with the investigations sector of the General Affairs Department of Shinra, nicknamed the Turks, being an organization working for Shinra who are trusted with tasks ranging from espionage to kidnapping. Number 1449, Bahamut Zero, a 2-slot legend support spirit with the effect Final Smash Up. Bahamut is a dragon-like creature which is one of the most iconic summons in the series, with Bahamut Zero being a stronger variation that was introduced in Final Fantasy VII, with him being one of the last and most powerful summons the player gets. The spirit art is from Smash 4, which was the first Smash game to feature the Midgar stage. Number 1450, Chocobo and Moogle, a 2-slot novice primary neutral spirit. As mentioned prior, Chocobos are large birds which have appeared throughout the series since Final Fantasy II, often being a creature you can ride on to travel around the world faster or compete in races. Meanwhile, Moogles are a race of creatures who have been a recurring element since Final Fantasy III, taking on all kinds of roles ranging all the way from background cameos to playable characters. The spirit art is from Final Fantasy VII Remake, where the two team up as part of a summon. Number 1451, Shiva, a 2-slot Ace support spirit with the effect Ice Floor Immunity, a recurring Ice Elemental summon who first appeared in Final Fantasy III, with her signature move being Diamond Dust, an ice attack that damages all enemies. Her spirit artwork comes from Final Fantasy VII Remake. And number 1452, Ifrit, a 1-slot Ace primary attack spirit with the effect Fire Attack Up. Similar to Shiva, Ifrit is a series recurring summon first appearing in Final Fantasy III, with his signature move being Hellfire, which does fire damage to all enemies. Just like Shiva, his art is from Final Fantasy VII Remake. Dragon Quest is a long-running series of RPGs published by Enix, which came into existence when Yuji Horii, inspired by games such as Wizardry and Ultima, wanted to make a more introductory level RPG for wider audiences. The main changes being to emphasize the storytelling and emotional involvement, and to simplify the interface in order to better translate the genre from its roots on Western PCs to Japanese game consoles. The final result was Dragon Quest, which released in Japan for the Famicom in 1986, later getting released in America under the name Dragon Warrior in 1989. Whilst the game didn't make any major waves internationally, Dragon Quest was a smash hit in Japan, eventually leading to the series getting 10 sequels, countless remakes, ports, and side games, along with the series becoming one of the most popular game franchises in the country, to the point that they had to start releasing the games on weekends after multiple reports from police came in of kids skipping school just to buy the newly released Dragon Quest III. The series as a whole having managed to sell over 85 million copies. Because of how unbelievably popular Dragon Quest is in Japan, there's a good amount of content from this series. First, we have fighter number 72, Hero, this being the general name used for the main protagonists of Dragon Quest games, as they often don't have canonical names due to the player getting to decide what they're called. The default outfit is specifically the hero from Dragon Quest XI, Echoes of an Elusive Age, with there also being alternate costumes based on the heroes from Dragon Quest III, The Seeds of Salvation, Dragon Quest IV, Chapters of the Chosen, and Dragon Quest VIII, Journey of the Cursed King. Next is the stage Yggdrasil's Altar, Yggdrasil being the world tree that has been a recurring element in the series since Dragon Quest II. Though this is specifically based on the one from Dragon Quest XI, the fight taking place on the altar right in front of the tree, which in Smash flies around the world of Erdrea despite not moving at all in the original game. In the background it's possible to see various major locations from Dragon Quest XI, with Cetacea also flying in the background. The only real events on the stage are that toggles can appear to either bring in or remove additional platforms, along with small platforms that show up on the side, sometimes having a treasure chest, which, when attacked, will either give an item or transform into a mimic, which can give an item if a player manages to kill it. Finally, in the background, it's possible to see slimes jumping around, and on rare occasions, a liquid metal slime can show up. After that, we have 8 music tracks. Adventure, the main overworld theme from Dragon Quest III, Smash using a remix from Fortune Street, a spin-off party game which doubled as a crossover with the Super Mario series. Fighting Spirits, Dragon Quest III's regular battle theme, with Smash using a remix from the spin-off rhythm game, Theatrhythm Dragon Quest. Fortune Street remix of Battle for the Glory, Dragon Quest IV's regular battle theme. A Fortune Street remix of Wagon Wheels March, the overworld theme in Dragon Quest IV once the player has gone every party member. Theatrhythm Dragon Quest's version of Warcry, Dragon Quest VIII's regular battle theme. Marching through the fields, the overworld theme whilst riding a great saber cat in Dragon Quest VIII, smashed using the version from the game's 3DS remake. Hero goes forth with a determination, the initial overworld theme from Dragon Quest XI. And Unflinchable Courage, Dragon Quest XI's regular battle theme. Have 3 sets of Mii costumes and a hat, with a hat based on slimes, a common enemy that have shown up in every game since the original Dragon Quest, a Mii brawler costume based on the outfit worn by party members with the martial artist job in Dragon Quest III, specifically the game's Super Nintendo remake, a Mii sword fighter outfit based on the Erdrick armor from the original Dragon Quest, with the sword resembling the Sword of Kings from Dragon Quest III and the Sword of Light from Dragon Quest XI, as well as another Mii Swordfighter outfit based on Veronica, a mage who serves as one of your party members in Dragon Quest XI, the sword being her staff. To end off, there's 14 spirits. Number 1324, Hero, Dragon Quest XI's, a fighter spirit. On his 16th birthday, this hero finds out he was chosen by Yggdrasil to become the Luminary, a champion needed to protect the world in its time of need, with him also having to deal with accusations of being the Darkspawn by the King of Helidor. Number 1325, Hero, Dragon Quest III, a fighter spirit. This hero is often referred to by the moniker they're given at the end of their adventure, Erdrick, with them not only being a legendary hero within the lore of Dragon Quest for saving the land of Alefgard, but they're also easily the most popular hero in the series. The spirit artwork comes from Dragon Quest III's Super Nintendo remake. Number 1326, Hero, Dragon Quest IV, a fighter spirit. Often referred to as their in-game default name, Solo, this hero was prophesied to defeat the demons and restore peace to the land. However, the demons' leader found the village he was raised in and killed everyone there, with the hero only escaping thanks to a friend sacrificing themselves by pretending to be him, leading to them to go on a journey to find the truth of their identity and fulfill their destiny. The artwork is from Dragon Quest IV's DS remake. Number 1327, Hero, Dragon Quest VIII, a fighter spirit. This hero, who's often called by their default name 8, was a royal guard at Castle Tredain until the jester Domalgus cursed the city, turning the king into a frog-like creature, the princess into a horse, and most of the population into plants, with the hero, being the only one not affected by the curse, setting out with the king and princess to find the jester and reverse the spell. Number 1328, Hero's Comrades, a 2-slot legend support spirit with the effect Team Power Up. These being all the party members from Dragon Quest XI, namely the Thief Eric, the Mage Veronica, the Priestess Serena, the Minstrel Sylvando, the Martial Artist Jade, the Sage Rab, and the Paladin Hendrik. Number 1329, Cetacea, a 2-slot ace support spirit with the effect Giant, a large flying whale which serves as the holy conveyance for the Luminary, the hero being able to use it as a method to travel across the world by summoning it using the Calamus flute. Number 1330, Slime, a 2-slot novice primary grab spirit which can be enhanced at level 99. A common enemy that's appeared in every game in the series, often being one of the first monsters you encounter, with this and their general popularity eventually leading them to become the series mascot. Number 1331, King Slime, a 2-slot ace primary grab spirit with the effect Weight Double Up. A type of slime which has appeared in every game starting with Dragon Quest IV, it being the result of several slimes fusing together to become one giant slime. Like the Dragon Quest IV hero, its artwork comes from the game's DS remake. Number 1332, Draki, a 1-slot novice support spirit with the effect Lightweight, a bat-like enemy introduced in the first game which, due to its frequent appearances and often being an early game enemy, has become one of the most popular flying monsters in the series. Number 1333, Golem, a slotless advanced primary shield spirit, a monster who was initially introduced as a boss in the first game, needing to be defeated in order to access the town Cantlin, with it having shown up in almost every game since Dragon Quest V, often appearing as a regular enemy. Number 1334, Great Saber Cub, a 1-slot novice primary attack spirit which can be enhanced at level 99. A monster introduced in Dragon Quest V, and the first monster the hero recruits into their party, taking in a saber cub that was being bullied by a group of kids, who only stop after the hero completes a dare to explore a haunted castle. Number 1335, Great Saber Cat, a 1-slot ace primary attack spirit with the effect Physical Attack Up. The adult form of a Great Saber Cub, with the Dragon Quest V hero being sent out to save a village from one, which turns out to be the saber cub they saved grown up, which can then be recruited back into the party using a ribbon given to them by Bianca, one of his childhood friends who helped him save the saber cub. Number 1336, Liquid Metal Slime. A 1-slot advanced support spirit with the effect move speed up. A variation of slimes which have appeared in every entry since Dragon Quest II, being the metal variation of bubble slimes. Metal versions of monsters being harder to kill due to their high agility and defense, immunity to magic, and a high tendency to run away from battles, but in exchange reward a much larger amount of experience points for defeating them. The spirit art is taken from the mobile remake of Dragon Quest II. And number 1346, Tockles, a 2-slot ace support spirit with the effect Fog Immunity. A race of spirit-like creatures from Dragon Quest XI which are tasked with watching over the passage of time and correcting any errors that can disrupt the past, with them asking for the Luminary's help to undo the damage caused by a monster rewriting passages of past events. Kingdom Hearts is a series of hack-and-slash action RPGs which see you explore the worlds of various Disney movies in order to fight off invasions from dark entities such as the Heartless and Nobodies. The original idea had come about when Square higher-ups were discussing making a 3D game with a similar freedom of movement to Super Mario 64, before lamenting that the only characters popular enough to rival Mario were Disney's. But Tetsuya Nomura, who at this point had mostly worked as a monster and character designer for the Final Fantasy series, then volunteering to lead the project. The final result being Kingdom Hearts, which released exclusively for the PlayStation 2 in 2002, and became a massive success, managing to sell millions of copies and was considered one of the system's best games, with it and Final Fantasy X's success often being credited for saving the Square Enix merger, after Enix had gotten cold feet due to the financial failure of Final Fantasy The Spirits Within, meaning it's possible that without Kingdom Hearts, Square and Enix might have stayed as separate companies. Since then, Kingdom Hearts has received 2 numbered sequels, several side games which also contribute to the series' overarching plot, as well as an animated movie based on a Kingdom Hearts browser game. Given that Kingdom Hearts is probably one of Square's more popular series within the last couple decades, with its main protagonist having been Smash's most heavily requested character, there's a good amount of content from Kingdom Hearts. To begin, we have fighter number 82, Sora, the main protagonist of the series, being a boy from Destiny Islands who ends up becoming the wielder of the Keyblade, a weapon he uses to battle enemies such as the Heartless and Nobodies. In addition to his default outfit, which is based on his appearance in Kingdom Hearts 1, he also has alternate costumes based on his regular outfits in Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance, and Kingdom Hearts 3, along with one based on his design in the level Timeless River. Following that is the stage Hollow Bastion, the penultimate level of Kingdom Hearts 1, which primarily served as the base used for the game's major antagonists. The stage itself is effectively just the battlefield layout, but with only one floating platform, with it constantly flying around the castle. When a match is close to reaching its end, the stage will transition to Dive to the Heart, this being a location found within people's hearts, which often serves as the opening tutorial area for the games, with the background depicting the sky station of various characters, namely the ones that can appear are themed to Sora, Riku, Roxas, Xion, Terra, Ventus, and Aqua. Then we have 10 music tracks, and to save repetition, all of them originate from Kingdom Hearts 1, and unless otherwise stated, Smash specifically uses remixes from the game's HD remaster, Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix. With Night of Fate, the music that plays when the Heartless take over Destiny Islands, as well as the regular battle theme for Travis Town before defeating the Guard Armor. Destiny's Force, the boss theme for the second and third fights against Darkseid, the opposite armor, Jafar's genie form, the second Parasite Cage fight, Oogi's mana, the Phantom, and the Behemoth. Shrouding Dark Cloud, the theme for major Heartless bosses, namely the Guard Armor, the Trickmaster, the Pot Centipede, and the Parasite Cage, as well as the fights against Cloud and Anti-Sora. Hand in hand, the regular battle theme in Travis Town after Sora defeats the Guard Armor. Blast Away Gummy Ship 2, the song used for the Gummy Ship segments which lead to Agrabah, Monstro, Atlantica, Halloween Town, and Neverland. The Overworld theme for Hollow Bastion. Scherzo de Notte, the regular battle theme for Hollow Bastion. Fragments of Sorrow, the regular battle theme from End of the World, with Smash using a remix from Kingdom Hearts HD 2.5 remix, the HD remaster of Kingdom Hearts 2, where it's used as the regular battle theme for Roxas's Dive to the Heart. Party, a song that doesn't actually appear in Kingdom Hearts 1, instead being taken from the game's E3 2001 trailer. And Melody of Memories rendition of Dearly Beloved, the opening menu theme used across the series. Finally, there's 13 spirits. Number 1500, Sora, a fighter spirit. The original Kingdom Hearts follows Sora travel between worlds in an attempt to both restore his world after it was destroyed by the Heartless and find his friends Riku and Kairi, with Goofy and Donald joining him to find King Mickey. The artwork comes from Kingdom Hearts 1.5. Number 1501, Sora, Kingdom Hearts 2. A fighter spirit. In Kingdom Hearts 2, Sora is sent out to continue his fight against the Heartless, as well as a new threat with the Nobodies, who are led by the mysterious Organization 13. Number 1502, Sora, Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance, a fighter spirit. Dream Drop Distance follows Sora and Riku performing their Mark of Mastery exam, a test to see if those chosen by the Keyblade are to become Keyblade Masters by awakening the various sleeping worlds. Number 1503, Sora, Kingdom Hearts 3. A fighter spirit. Acting as the final game in the Darkseeker saga, Kingdom Hearts 3 follows Sora attempting to regain the power of waking and assemble the 7 Guardians of Light in order to end the plans of the real Organization 13. Number 1504, Sora, Timeless River, a fighter spirit. This being Sora's appearance in Timeless River, a world from Kingdom Hearts 2 which is based on various Disney shorts from the late 1920s to mid-1930s, the main inspiration being the 1928 animated short Steamboat Willie, which is often credited as being the first appearance of Mickey Mouse. Number 1505, Riku, a 2-slot ace primary attack spirit with the effect Sword Attack Up. One of Sora's friends from Destiny Islands, who after the Heartless attack is found and manipulated by Maleficent into working for her in exchange for helping find Kairi and gaining the power of the darkness. The spirit art is from 1.5. Number 1506, Kairi, a 1-slot novice support spirit with the effect Critical Health Defense Up. Another of Sora's friends who becomes one of the people he searches for throughout the original game, with it eventually being revealed that she's one of the 7 Princesses of Heart, maidens with hearts free from darkness which Maleficent wishes to use in order to reach Kingdom Hearts. Like Riku and Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora, her artwork is from 1.5. Number 1507, Roxas, a 3-slot legend support spirit with the effect weapon attack and move speed double up. A nobody that was created when Sora took his own heart to restore Kairi's, who became the 13th member of Organization 13, a group of nobodies who want to reclaim their hearts and become whole again by creating a new Kingdom Hearts. Number 1508, Axel, a 1-slot advanced primary attack spirit with the effect Fire Attack Up. A nobody with prior kinetic powers and the 8th member of Organization 13, who first appeared in the side game Chain of Memories, having been sent in to monitor and eliminate the traitorous Organization members. The The spirit art is from 358 Days Over 2, which shows him training and then eventually befriending Roxas when he first joined the organization. Number 1509, Shion, a 1-slot advanced support spirit with the effect trade-off attacks up. A nominal member to Organization 13 introduced in 358 Days Over 2, who over the course of the game is paired with and befriends Roxas, with her eventually being revealed to have been an imperfect replica of Sora, who was made in the event Sora and Roxas proved useless to the organization's goals. Number 1510, Terra, a 1-slot advanced primary attack spirit with the effect battering items power up. One of the 3 protagonists from Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, a prequel set 10 years before the events of the first game, where after Terra fails his Mark of Mastery exam due to him being unable to control his darkness, he's encouraged to channel it by Master Xehanort, before being given a second chance to pass by finding Xehanort after he goes missing and stopping the threat of the Unversed. Number 1511, Ventus, a 2-slot advanced primary grab spirit with the effect speed up. The second playable character in Birth by Sleep, who after being given an ominous warning by Xehanort's apprentice, Vanitas, about how Terra could be meeting with a dark fate, he ends up going on his own adventure due to arriving just as Terra was leaving for his mission. And number 1512, Aqua, a 3-slot ace primary shield spirit with the effect magic attack up. The final playable character in Birth by Sleep, who after passing the Mark of Mastery exam is put on the same mission as Terra, but with the added caveat to watch over Terra to make sure he doesn't give in to the darkness, being told to bring him back to Master Ericus if he goes too far. The Mana series is a series of action RPGs which started on the Game Boy, with the first entry originally being sold as a Final Fantasy side game, the series name coming from how every subsequent entry was named Blank of Mana, with the main connective links between entries being the gameplay, which went for a more action-styled approach to help differentiate it from Final Fantasy, as well as the game's plots usually revolving around a mana tree and its associated Sword of Light, with antagonists often trying to steal said item's power. Overall, the series consists of 4 main entries, 7 side games, with the first 3 main entries having all received remakes, the first game specifically having gotten 2. Whilst the Mana series is decently popular, having managed to sell a combined total of at least 8 million copies, the only things taken from this series are 3 spirits, all of which were added as part of a spirit board event to promote the 2020 remake of the 3rd main entry, Trials of Mana. Those spirits being number 1411, Duran and Angela, a 2-slot ace support spirit with the effect critical health stats double up. Duran is a mercenary swordsman from Valsina who sets out to become the greatest swordsman in the world in order to get revenge on the Crimson Wizard after failing to stop his invasion. Meanwhile, Angela is the princess of Altina who becomes an outcast due to being the only person in the kingdom who can't use magic, with her running away and awakening her magic abilities upon finding out that her mother planned to sacrifice her in order to unlock the power of the Mana Stones and keep the kingdom in a perpetual spring. Number 1412, Kevin and Charlotte, a 2-slot ace support spirit with the effect KO's heal damage. Kevin is the Prince of Ferelia, a kingdom of demi-human beastmen, who upon finding out that his father, working with the mage Gorman, made him kill his best friend, goes to find a way to revive him and find out what happened to his human mother, whilst Charlotte is a half-human, half-elf and the granddaughter of the Priest of Light, who wants to save Heath, a cleric and her surrogate brother figure, after he gets captured by Gorman. And number 1413, Hawkeye and Rise, a 1-slot ace support spirit with the effect easier dodging. Hawkeye is a member of the Naval Thieves Guild who gets framed for murdering the guild's leader and his grandfather by the witch Isabella, with him escaping prison in order to find a way to break a curse put on a necklace given to his aunt Jessica that will kill her if Hawkeye reveals the truth or kills Isabella, whilst Rise is the Princess of Laurent and the captain of its Amazon army, with her setting out to find help after a younger brother is kidnapped, the kingdom is invaded, and her father is fatally wounded by Naval. Starting life as a sequel to a Final Fantasy spin-off, Bravely Default is an RPG for the 3DS made by Silicon Studio, who are otherwise only really known for the game 3D Dot Game Heroes, the game being fairly reminiscent of some of the early Final Fantasy entries, ranging from the similar job mechanics to the game's plot revolving around crystals and warriors of light, with the main mechanic that helps it stand out from Final Fantasy being the use of Brave points, which can be spent to have an additional turn in combat and then restocked by going defensive and skipping a turn. In addition to various mobile and online spin-offs, the game got a direct continuation with Bravely Second, End Layer, along with another sequel in a new setting with Bravely Default 2, which released for the Switch and was made by the brand new studio Clay Techworks, with the series as a whole having managed to sell over 3 million copies. As this is one of the lesser discussed Square series, there's not much from the Bravely series. The only thing taken is 2 spirits, both of which were added for a Spirit Board event to promote Bravely Default 2. Number 1456, Seth and Gloria, a 3-slot Ace primary shield spirit. Seth is the game's main protagonist, being a sailor who managed to survive his ship getting destroyed after being saved by the Wind Crystal. Meanwhile, Gloria is the Princess of Musa, a kingdom that was destroyed by the Holograd Empire, who wants to find and restore the 3 crystals which were stolen, with Seth being tasked to protect her during her quest. And number 1457, Elvis and Adele, a 1-slot advanced support spirit with the effect critical health stats up. Elvis is a scholar from Wizworld who is attempting to gather asterisks in order to translate a book of secrets he inherited from his mentor, with Adele being a mercenary who decided to join Elvis's journey in the hopes of finding her estranged sister, Edna. Octopath Traveler is an RPG that was made in collaboration with Acquire, who are otherwise known for the Tenchu and Way of the Samurai series, with the game having launched as a Switch exclusive in 2018, but has since been ported to PC and Xbox One. The central gimmick for the game is that over the course of the story, you control 8 different characters who explore the world of Austera for their own reasons, with each one having abilities and attributes based on their normal jobs. The game did really well review-wise, with it having managed to sell over 3 million copies, proving popular enough to get a free-to-play mobile game, along with a full-blown sequel which released in 2023 for the Switch, PS4, PS5, and PC, with an Xbox One and Series X port being set to release during the first half of 2024. There's only a little bit of stuff taken, as given the second game wasn't out yet, Smash could only pull from the first game. The only things taken being 4 spirits. Number 1421, Alfin and Therion, a 2-slot Ace support spirit with the effect critical health healing. Alfin is an apothecary from Clearbrook, who after saving his friend's younger sister from a poisonous snake bite, decided to travel across the world to heal the sick. Therion, on the other hand, is a thief who, after getting stuck with a mark of dishonor after getting caught stealing a blue gemstone from Bravos Manor, is tasked with recovering the other stolen gems in order to have the mark removed. Number 1422, Tressa and Cyrus, a 3-slot Ace primary attack spirit with the effect Magic Attack Up. Tressa is a wandering merchant from Rippletide who, after managing to fend off some pirates, is given the Journal of a Traveler, with her deciding to follow the Traveler's route. Meanwhile, Cyrus is a professor for the Royal Academy in Atlasdam who, after finding out one of his colleagues was stealing and selling tomes from the Royal Archive, tries to track down a tome that disappeared from the archives 15 years ago. Number 1423, Hanit and Ophelia, A 2-slot ace support spirit with the effect Chance of Double Final Smash. Hanit is a huntress from Swarky who was made the village guardian after Xanta, the man who raised and made her his apprentice, left in pursuit of a beast named Red-Eye, with her then setting out to find him when he doesn't return after a year. In contrast, Ophelia is a cleric who was taken in by the Archbishop of Flames Grace Cathedral, and whose adoptive sister, Liana, was supposed to go on a pilgrimage, but after the Archbishop falls gravely ill, Ophelia decides to take on the pilgrimage so Liana can be by his side. And number 1424, Alberek and Primrose. A 2-slot ace support spirit with the effect critical health stats double up. Alberek is a mercenary who used to be a knight for a now fallen kingdom, but after dealing with some bandits, he finds that one of them has a sword of the traitor who killed his king, leading him to follow a trail to find out who the traitor was. Meanwhile, Primrose is a woman who is trying to track down the men who killed her father, eventually leading her to the town of Sunshade, where she took up a job as a dancer to try and find them, eventually finding and then following the killers, with her being able to track them thanks to them having markings of a crow. And that's everything to come from Square Enix in Smash. For the rankings of overall representation, Bravely Default is tied 109th with 43 other series, the Mana series is tied 88th with 20 other series, Octopath Traveler is tied 73rd with 14 other series, Kingdom Hearts is 31st, putting it above Fatal Fury but below Minecraft, along with making it the 12th most represented third-party series. Dragon Quest is 29th, placing it above Minecraft and below Bayonetta and Persona, making it the 10th most represented third-party series. And Final Fantasy is 26th, putting it above Bayonetta and Persona, but below Wario, in turn making it the 7th most represented third-party series, ranking only behind Capcom's Mega Man and Street Fighter, Konami's Castlevania and Metal Gear, Bandai Namco's Tekken, and Sega's Sonic the Hedgehog. Based on the poll results, Volume 17 will focus on the Fire Emblem series, with Volume 18 being an overview of the Minor series, which originated on the Wii, and Volume 19 being an overview of both the Pikmin and Animal Crossing series. In the meantime, a poll will be up to vote for the topic of Volume 20, which will be for which third-party company to look at next. The options being Konami, Microsoft, and SNK. Until then, feel free to subscribe to the channel to keep up with what's going on, and thanks for watching.